Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Reach Podcast Show, where every show reaches beyond the listener's ears. We appreciate you guys tuning in this morning. We have an amazing show set up with the CEOs and owners of Mo Better Boxing. We appreciate you guys being in the studio with me this morning. And guys, we just have an amazing show, like I said. So we have a power couple that's here, married, in business, and we're going to talk all about what they have going on here in the city of Houston. But before we get into that, man, I have to, of course, as I always do, give a shout out to all the followers, all the listeners of Dad Chronicles of the Reach Podcast Show. You know, I greatly appreciate you guys. Celebrated a landmark this year. Dad Chronicles celebrated 1 year over this past week. And this evening, I want you guys to tune in to the other segment of what I do called King Conversations. I'm going to bring back the original crew that helped me pilot the very first show that you guys actually never seen. We'll go back and revisit that. Some of my bros, man, they sat down with me and we just had a real talk. So we're going to revisit that. It's a year later now, and we're going to actually revisit that conversation and just talk about everything that has happened over this past year. I want to thank everybody for being a part of the Walk for Life event that we had a couple of weeks ago. Even shout out to y'all for supporting that walk. So I appreciate that. But just for everybody out there, man, I can't tell you how humble, how grateful I am for all the support I've gotten over this past year. You know, so it's just phenomenal to be part of the community in such a way that we're making such a great impact. And without further ado, I like to jump into this conversation, man. I met him by way of my man, Bobby Shannon. I have to shout out to you, man, for making that connection and bringing you guys as part of the walk is the way it really happened. And it was a phone call, man. And ever since then, it's just been a strong connection. You know, we've been able to go and visit the boxing gym a few times now, I could say. And shout out to Tawana, taking care of my man over there at Diamond Fit Nutrition. We appreciate you guys as well. And it's just a big family, man. That's how this ends up working out. You know, it just becomes a big family. And so we appreciate that. So without further ado, I'd like for you guys to introduce yourselves. You know, we have Ms. Lewis and Ms. Monica of Mo Better Boxing. Go ahead and tell them, you know, who you are, man.
Right. My name is Lewis Brown, Mo Better Boxing. I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. So
okay. Absolutely. And ma'am, who are you?
Monique Brown.
Right.
I'm originally from Arizona. And we've been here for 12 years now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I thought it was cool. You know, we'll give them the address too. The address is in the heart of A-Leaf. That's, you know, I was proud when I heard that, you know, not that that necessarily meant anything to you at the time, but it's just a great community that, you know, I like to give back to, and we like to do things in that community. And I think it'll be a big thing, and I can foresee some things coming out of that, and, you know, the support that I can help bring to the gym. But, you know, they're right at, what is it, 12204?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. It's 12204 Beach Nut is what it is. And so, you know, I mean, tell them about the gym and the hours, and man, when they can reach you and how they can find.
Okay, so like you said, we're on 12204 Beach Nut Street. Tuesday through Friday, we're there from 2:30 to 6:30. And Saturday is pretty flexible. We come at as early as 10 o'clock in the morning. We do a women's fitness class, and we're there until the last person gets done on Saturday. On Monday, the times are pretty flexible, but we typically leave about the same time most of the time on Monday.
Okay, cool. So definitely, you know where it's at. And then you're going to get ready to hear more about, you know, why he even chose to do that, a little bit of his history, and also Miss Monique's and how they came together, partnerships and stuff like that. So we just want everybody to get familiar with Mo Better Boxing, man, and go get your workout on. I tell you, when I went, my man, I told him, I texted him, I was like, he took it easy on me, but I felt like I had been working out for 3 days. You know, my whole body was tight and everything, but it's you know, if you haven't gotten into it, it's definitely a different workout. It's not to discourage you. You feel great, you know, and it just makes you feel good. And man, the thing that stands out to me with both of y'all, you know, just the attitude and the spirit. And, you know, of course, we're talking about excellence in Black business, and y'all are just right into that realm as well. You know, it's I guess we just call it customer service, you know, the customer service that you guys are providing too, but it's really just the homely feeling, you know, and just you welcoming people in. And, you know, man, I'll tell you that really stands out, you know, and that's one of the things that I want to point out, you know, in this segment is that y'all make everybody feel like you're at home. Like I said, man, I honestly felt like I was family, you know, from day one. I didn't meet you day one. Yeah. And I met him, then I met you, and it was like, oh, maybe that's where he got it from, because he was the same way. So, I mean, it means the world, you know, to me, and I'm sure everybody that comes into contact. But in regards to, you know, your history, let's go back. Let's let the people know who you are. Let's, you know, as far back as you want to go, and how it ties into Mo Better Boxing and what you're doing.
So, like I said, born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana, and moved around. We've lived in 7 different states, but I was brought up in a 2-parent household at first, and tragic loss of my dad when I was 9 years old. So I was used to my dad being there, and then all of a sudden he wasn't there. So I felt both ends of it. You know, to have a father, then to not have a father. And I think that kind of helped mold me into the person I am today, and why I have such a passion for helping young kids, specifically young men, without positive role models, father role models, big brother role models.
Yeah, and that's where we kind of connected instantly, you know, when we talked about that. We'll get into more of that. But yeah, definitely feel you on that.
So, graduated from high school in Indianapolis, Indiana. I got caught up in a little bit of trouble. So, you know, everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
And the judge gave me 6 months probation. I got into a fight at school. The judge gave me 6 months probation and gave me the option to come back with a set plan, you know, and then she would erase everything and let me go.
Gotcha.
So I tried going to HVAC school. You know, I didn't feel that. I had also been in barbering school. You know, my whole family is in the hair business.
Yeah.
So my mom owns a beauty shop, my auntie owns a beauty shop and a beauty school.
Okay.
Cousins that own barber shops, and I've been cutting hair since I was 14.
Are they back home, or they're
back in Indianapolis?
Indianapolis, okay.
Yeah. However, my auntie she is working on bringing her school, Fuquay Institute of Business. She's working on bringing that to Houston.
Look at that, man. Okay, yeah. Hook us up when she get here. You know, we definitely. Okay.
But you know, so the judge gave me that option, and ended up going to the Air Force.
Okay.
And the Air Force is where I met somebody who became like a mentor to me. His name was Ron Sims, and I was just in the gym working out, lifting weights, and he's like, "Hey, man, you know, before my dad passed, it was his dream. He loved boxing. He was big into boxing." And I remember one time when I was small, he introduced me to Marvin Johnson, who was the world heavyweight, a world champion at the time.
Right.
And you know, they had arranged for me to go to the gym and start working out with Marvin, but you know, the stuff happened, and it never happened. It never materialized. So once I got into the Air Force and met Ron, and I was in the gym working out, lifting weights and everything, and he asked me one time, he said, "Hey, man, you mind coming to help me out?" I was like, "Yeah, what you doing?" He said, "You know, I'm boxing."
Okay.
Like, "Yeah, you got to show me what to do." You know, so he showed me a couple things, and then he's like, "Man, you picked up pretty good on this." And so it became a regular thing where I would go help him and work out with him. So he was part of the Air Force boxing team. And he asked me, "Hey, would you like to try out for the Air Force boxing team?" I was like, "Sure, you give me time off work. Yeah, I'm all for it."
Yeah.
So, you know, he called the coach and he arranged for me to go try out. And, you know, it took off from there. I actually was the Air Force junior welterweight champion, you know, for like 4 years. And then after I got out the Air Force, we moved to South Carolina. I continued my amateur career. I fought in South Carolina, fought Golden Gloves, and fought a couple other tournaments. We moved to Virginia. I mean, we had left from Virginia, and then we moved back to Indianapolis eventually.
Okay.
And I went back to my roots, you know, in Sarge Johnson's Boxing Club, where it all kind of really blew up from there.
Gotcha.
You know, so.
Okay.
And I turned professional in 2001.
You got to tell them about the Golden Gloves and, you know, everything else.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, this, you know, it's different from any other sport. You know, boxing is like the closest thing I can equate to boxing is wrestling.
Okay.
Because you're out there by yourself. And, you know, we have T-shirts that we have some Mo Better Boxing t-shirts on the back. We put no timeouts, no substitutes, no excuses, because that's how it is. You in there and you in there by yourself.
Yeah. It's not a team sport. It's
not a team sport. And once you know how it is, you'll have a whole totally different respect for the men and women that get into the ring on a regular basis.
Right.
People don't realize how tough it can be, but
and part of your training is you do it by the round. And I was like, man, I didn't know a round was so long. That's the thing, it's totally different. And, I get it because, I teach that to my kids in different ways, like I said, with the chess and stuff like that, and just that mental toughness, man. And so, I'm dead set on making sure they stay connected and really get that in them, because I know that's something that will help them in the long run. So most definitely. So Ms. Monique, tell us a little bit about you and how y'all came together and what it means to be married for as long as you guys have and to be at this point where you guys are now.
Well, actually, I've known Louis for more than half my life now.
Okay.
And when I met Louis, it was in Arizona. He was stationed there, and my entire family took him in, like he was our own.
Yeah.
And got along real good. Eventually, I moved to Virginia with him, and we just was ride or die ever since then. Had 4 beautiful children, and moved here to Houston with basically only 1 or 2 other family members that we have here in Houston. And we're both used to big families.
Gotcha.
And very family oriented. So it was a rough time for us at first, but now we have more family here. We've met plenty of family.
Right.
Family.
Yes, absolutely. And we love it here.
That's cool.
We're trying to, help as many people as we can at this point. We've always been the type of people to want to help any kids that we can. We are always the one to take people in and just try and better kids. We love kids. We love doing for them, and we want to see all of our people do good.
Right.
So we're that family that always have someone staying with us because we want to help people. And Louis, when we were living in Indianapolis, he started a program there for young men. Him and his cousins and friends, and that went really well.
Right.
And then when we moved here, he can speak more on the details.
Yeah, and that's perfect. I was about to say perfect segue, because I was going to bring that up. We're talking about rebirthing that in a different way. And of course, him doing his own thing, but me chiming in or however it may go. But that's something we were talking about. But yeah, you want to pick up on that and kind of tell the people you're not new to what you're going to restart, and explain that whole situation for us.
Right. So we had a outreach program in Indianapolis, and it was something me and my cousins came up with collectively. We called it OBOL, which stood for One Blood, One Love. And basically just, giving a structure to all those young men. We targeted a lot of young men without fathers, the big brothers, people to look up to.
Yeah.
So, we did, we'd have a big weekend to where it started out, it'd be a weekend event.
Yeah.
It started out.
A little retreat.
Yeah, like a little retreat. It started out in the park. Parents would drop the kids off at the park where we barbecued. We played, kickball and softball and, a whole bunch of games. And then we went to an overnight location to where we had we had all the guys separated as in age categories. We had the younger guys, we had the teenage guys, we had the preteens, and then as the night went on, we watched movies, ate popcorn, they played video games, but we also had a segment where we pulled them all in the room, their group specifically, and we just had a anything goes conversation. Nothing leaves the room. Ask us, man. I was floored by some of the questions that some of these little dudes asked. Really, I was amazed. I was shocked, but it gave me a whole new respect for what these kids are going through.
And how important it is to make that verbal connection and just be able to listen and hear them out, because, you know, these kids are battling with some things we didn't have to go through, you know, just waking up in the morning and having to go to school. There's a whole new set of issues and parameters that they have to abide by, and just the things that they deal with, and then everything being broadcast right away. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like if we had somebody in here, they'd be filming us, you know what I mean? And, you know, you can't control that. And it's just a different time, you know.
And a lot of these kids don't have someone that they can talk to and confide in.
Yeah.
So that, with them having young Black men to confide in and ask questions that they may not be able to ask other people, that is powerful for these kids nowadays.
Absolutely. And just to kind of fill you in and go into it further, it's amazing how God works, because, you know, you kind of spit a couple things at me when we met, and I was like, man, that was the vision that I had for my Movement Dad Chronicles. It was just to do a retreat. You know, I didn't know if it was going to be a weekend thing or a one-day thing or whatever, but to do exactly what you did, you know what I'm saying? And it was just amazing to hear that you all for it. You like, I want to start that back up. So we saying it right now. It's coming to fruition, you know, whether it be under Mo Better Boxing or whether it be under Dad Chronicles. And that's the thing about collaborations. You know, it's not about the name that's up there, you know, but partnering together and getting a group of people that have like minds and, you know, the same mission, it helps to broaden that out. So y'all stay tuned for that. You know, we are definitely gonna reorganize that thing. I'm gonna follow your lead since you've already done it. You know, God gave me a vision to do something like that, but honestly, it's to allow these kids to have something different to where they can be in that safe space, you know, and they can ask those questions that they need to ask. And, you know, I started off working toward that by being a one-on-one mentor, just going into the homes and starting the chess club and stuff like that. But, you know, we have to be intentional and keep being intentional and being purposeful. And, you know, what you're doing with the boxing is what I do with the chess, and is what I do with the one-on-ones and all that stuff. So it's just amazing to connect, you know what I'm saying? And just look forward to these things that we're going to bring to light. But let's switch gears a little bit, you know, and what I don't know, were you doing boxing before you moved here, or was that a decision that you made after you got here? How did that work out?
You mean as far as
the gym?
The gym? Okay, so ever since I can remember, you know, when I first started boxing, and like I said, my passion for trying to be a mentor, I've always said that it's been my dream and still my dream to have a community center, like atmosphere, a setting.
Yeah.
So I'd love to have eventually I want to have a community center to where, you know, kids can go, don't worry about money, don't worry about whether you can afford it or not, somewhere just get away, you know, to find other things to get into and keep them out of trouble.
Right.
You know, recreation, whether it's recreational sports, whether it's music, whether it's, you know, studying, playing chess, or whatever it is. So when we moved to Texas, actually, my friend, she's a partner of ours with the building, and her name is Monique Roberts, and she has a Triple D Academy.
Okay.
So she had a building on Fuquay Street, and she called me up. She knew my passion for boxing, and, you know, and I always help coach the AAU teams and stuff like that. So she called me up, was like, hey, you know, I got this extra space that's just sitting here.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, you know, I kind of caught the hint.
Yeah.
And I told her about it. You know, I told Mo about it, and she said, I think you need to jump on it. You know, go ahead and do it. And I was a little apprehensive at first, but, you know, with push from her, but push from my mom.
Yeah.
You know,
isn't it funny the things we should just dive into? We always a little hesitant about it. You know what I mean? And again, the point of this is we're helping somebody right now. Somebody that's watching, you know, y'all, you've been nudged, you've been tugged, and you putting it off, man, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just do it.
And that's what it was too. Like, I mean, everybody, my mom, my sons, my daughter, my wife, you know, some of my friends, like, dude, this is what you've been waiting on. This is what you've been wanting to do. And I was scared. I was scared of the unknown. Like, what if it don't work? What if I fail? You know, but then I started thinking, I think I seen a post. I don't remember what it was. I seen a post, and I started thinking, you know what? Why not me?
Yeah.
You know, why not me?
Yeah.
So just like when you jump in water when it's cold, you know, I held my breath. I counted 3, and I said, let's jump.
Let's go.
So I jumped, and you know, water ain't cold anymore. It feels
Right,
good now.
right,
So,
right.
you know.
And I'm gonna go and call you out, man. The funny thing y'all don't know about Lewis is he's a shy guy, you know. But he get in that gym, he's a whole nother person. But you know, and I find that funny because I understand it. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I was when I started this. And you know, now it just flows. You know, and it's being a voice for the community, being a voice for people who are shy or, you know, may not initially do that, but it's just so important that we speak up. And not that you don't speak up, you're doing it in other ways, you know what I'm saying? But this is just a whole nother platform, and we just have to jump out there and do it, man. That's the main thing. Do you want to add anything on that topic or that subject?
I mean, I'm just behind him 100%. He was very apprehensive at first, but I knew his passion.
Yeah.
And I knew that eventually God would get him where he needed to be.
Absolutely.
He's a good person. We both want to help children.
Mm-hmm.
And so anybody wanting to help somebody and doing something for good, it will come into fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. And so to help out, you know, our listeners that are apprehensive or that have prepared themselves or, you know, are new to the business and stuff like that, what would you tell that person, you know, in light of this being the Excellence in Black Business series, right? So I've probably had about 3 or 4 interviews up to this time, and I'm going to run this type of series and through the end of August. But what would be your advice to, again, the people that are apprehensive, the people that are ready and they're not quite sure if they're ready? What things would you tell them in starting up the business?
Well, first thing I would say is there's never going to be that moment where you just feel everything is 100% in order.
Never going to be all the way ready.
Never going to be all the way ready. You can say, you know, I'm waiting till this, I'm waiting till that.
Yeah.
And
life going to keep happening.
This and that may not ever come.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, man, my attitude now is why not me?
Right.
You know, why not Mo Better Boxing? Why not for us? You know,
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like if you want something, you ought to reach for it, you strive for it. Got to do your homework, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And we're still learning. You know, it's a lot of details, and organization is very important. You know, to be organized and make sure all your ducks in a row. But I mean, the biggest thing I would say, man, is just go ahead and jump.
Yeah.
You know, count to 3 and then go ahead
and dive off in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to piggyback on that, I would also say, you know, use mentors, use people that you know that have businesses that can mentor you on their process of how they got started. Google stuff. I mean, there is a lot to learn prior to going into a business. And like Lewis said, we are still learning.
Mm-hmm.
We do still have a lot to grow from with this business, and we plan on doing that. We did take the leap, and we're just doing it. We're learning as we go.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest thing. You have to just take the leap. Don't be scared. And then just learn and continue to learn and get help from others that have done it.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely, you know, I second all those statements, man. It's important to just, you know, get to that point where you can stop, not necessarily doubting, but questioning. You know what I'm saying? Because we're always going to have doubt. You know, that's just who we are. We're going to have that, man, what if this don't work? But just jump out there, you know, and understand that, you know, if you don't try, you'll never know what was going to happen, you know. And then I love how you're just a strong support. And that's just what it's about. You know, I interviewed a couple weeks ago there. I just call them a power couple. And I feel the same way about y'all. It's that support that you give each other, working together, living together, having a family. That's of the utmost importance. But what I want to do is draw your attention to the what we call the comments. So we have, I think this is your daughter, right? Ms. Janaea?
Yes.
Brown. She says she's so proud of you guys. So shout out to you, sweetheart. Hopefully she's still looking. And then we have Ms. Leslie Membrio. No?
Yes,
I don't know
that's
if I'm
my
saying it right.
From
Okay.
Arizona.
She's supporting you guys, and she says sending love and support from Tuscan, Arizona. Inspiring family. Yes, they are. And my sister, Miss Kathy Tatum, we appreciate you. Then we also have Ryan Richardson. Shout out to the cousins. So I guess that's family. Now, okay, my man, Derek Ray. You know Derek Ray as well?
That's my brother.
Family.
Oh, come on,
that's
man.
family.
Yeah, okay. That's what's up. Now, I mean, unless, because I'm just going by the name, but there's a Derek Ray we had that Is he here in Houston?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he's in Richmond, Rosenberg area.
Okay, I'm not sure if it's the same one, but I'm thinking he's with the and it looks like I can't really see the picture, but we were with the Cobras, the Stafford Cobras.
Yes,
that's my man then.
Yeah, that's our man too.
What's up, Derek? We appreciate you tuning in. And then my man Eddie Machete, you know, he's saying good stuff now. Not sure. He says it's always the right time, you know, definitely. But when it comes to getting things started, it's definitely always the right time to go ahead and just, you know, pursue your dreams. And like you said, why not us or why not me? You know, so I definitely understand that. And so I call this commercial time. So you just tell them how they can find you. I'll put that up on here, how they can find Mo Better Boxing and where to go. And I'll have the email strolling. And we don't have a website right now, but we have the social media.
We're working on that.
Yeah.
We're working. So you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter and Instagram is at Mo Better Boxing, and Facebook is Mo Better. But you can find get all three by putting in Mo Better Boxing.
And it's MO.
Yeah.
Yes.
MOBETTER Boxing on Facebook and Instagram. All the wonderful pictures are on there, you know. And so because I get a lot of questions, you know, I've already been trying to push it and everything, and people hitting me up. I'm like, hey, you got to call him so they'll know. So what can they expect if they want to be a member, if they want to just stop by? What are you promoting at this time as far as pricing or as far as memberships? What are you offering to the public?
Okay, so as of right now, we have a rate for a $60 monthly membership rate. That will go up once we get to September. September 1st is going up. However, if you get locked in now, you'll be locked in at the $60. If it's not, you know, if they don't want to do the monthly deal and they just want to come check it out, then we do a $10 daily fee.
Okay.
But
so whenever you drop in, just $10.
$10. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So all you need is a pair of hand wraps, and
you got those too.
Yeah.
All right.
Got those too. Bring your towel and some water.
Okay.
You know, so
and be ready to work.
Yes, sir.
We'll definitely get working.
Yeah.
Be ready to work.
Yeah. And so, you know, is there something you suggest them doing before they come to the gym? What type of regimen or preparedness would you suggest?
To be hydrated, you know, because we're going to work, and just be relaxed, man. A lot of people come to the gym and they think they're going to get it all right at that moment. And believe me, it's so frustrating. Everything's going to feel awkward, especially if this is your first experience with boxing. Everything's going to feel awkward and backwards. And it's just take repetition and relaxing, man. And just, you know, getting into it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I'll say that it is not just boxing, it's boxing and fitness. Right. So ladies, this is definitely for you as well. You know, we have boxing classes, boxing fitness classes on Saturday mornings as early as 9:30. And in that you will get a lot. You'll get cardio, you'll get strength and conditioning, and it's fun to box. It's absolutely a good workout. It's different than anything that you'll ever do. And everyone that have come have loved it. Yeah. Women, men, children, everyone.
Yeah. I mean, y'all catering to the 5 and 6 year olds. Absolutely. So, you know, you giving it to everybody.
We've even had an 84-year-old man come in and box.
Amazing.
We have that on our Instagram page, video of Lewis working with him. So it is for absolutely everyone. I mean, we can scale up your workout or we can scale down your workout. If you are just now getting back into working out, then we'll cater something to your style, or your, fitness level. Right.
And I love the what is it called? The switch, when you get inside the ring, the circle drill, everybody gets in the ring and you bounce around, and it's, man, I tell you, coordination and counting has never been so difficult for me a day in my life. The 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, it's amazing. But those are just the boxing counts. And I challenge them boys who think they got them hands in the street, go to the gym and show how to do it properly. It just puts a whole new definition on what it takes, to be good at that. But, what would you say that boxing is given to anybody, not just the kids? I focus on the youth. I always say the youth, but just anybody. What are you getting once you get, through your training or whatever you want to call it?
Well, from my personal experience, first I like to speak on my kids, because all my kids have not so much been in the gym training and boxing, but they've been around it.
Yeah.
So with, here and there, we're doing now. My sons, they're actually training right now.
Oh yeah.
But
I know one of them particularly. That boy hit you. He hit with that overhead. I was like, only get it his way. And he's slim too, so you can't judge a book by its cover. But nah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But they've been around it, and they've been, we've been messing with it. But one thing I can't say that it's done for them, it has instilled a lot of confidence in them, and my kids aren't troublemakers. They're not, but they're confident.
Right.
And you're not going to tell them that they can't do something.
Yeah. That's strong.
For me, I think it did the same thing, and it instilled a confidence in me. I've always been a smaller guy, and I don't go anywhere looking for trouble.
Right.
But I'm confident that if trouble came, you can handle your business myself.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, and it also taught me how to maintain my composure.
Right.
So one of the best lessons I got was my first loss as an amateur. As a boxer, because first time I sparred, I knocked the guy out. First fight, I knocked the guy out. Second fight, knocked the guy out. I'm thinking, oh, this is easy.
It's easy.
All I gotta do is get in there and knock him out. Well, third fight, I had this guy who was a slim guy. I mean, looked like I could blow and knock him over.
Your son. His son is slim. I'm making jokes, but you look at his son, he's slim and trim, and yeah.
And this guy, man, and I could tell he was nervous and he was scared. And I thought I was just gonna go in there. I didn't have a game plan. I went in there and I hit him with everything I could hit him with, and he was still there. So once he was still there the second round, I was lost. So I got frustrated, I got mad. And once I got mad and frustrated, he got confident, because he saw my frustration.
Yeah.
And man, this kid started picking me apart. I mean, he wasn't hurting me, but he was picking me apart.
You were done mentally.
Yeah. I was done. I had checked out.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, man, I'm frustrated.
Right.
I'm beating up on myself because I ain't knocked this kid out.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, man, you can't lose. My coach told me after this, like, son, he said, you lost the fight as soon as you checked out mentally.
Man, I like to just chime in something real quick. I know you seen yesterday was the last day of our football camp that we did with our kids.
Yeah.
And the guy that's training them, shout out to my man, Coach Charles Brown. Coach Charles Smith basically tells them the same thing, and he trains law enforcement, and he does the Muay Thai and boxing, and he just does a lot of different things as well. And that's the thing he told him about. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can't get out of your mind, and you've been knocking people out all this time, and then you get in that ring with that person. You don't have that stamina. You don't have the agility. You don't have the mental confidence and the mental toughness. They're gonna pick you apart. And like you say, you hit him with everything you had, and the guy's still there. He's like, that's when you lost the fight. You done gave all you got, and that guy's still coming at you. Then it's not that you get scared. It's like, what can I do? I can't do nothing. And then boom, he got you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that because I hope Dalen, Hez, and Chris, I hope y'all heard it also from Mr. Lewis Brown, because that's the thing we've been telling y'all. You gotta have that composure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But actually, it's funny that you said it, because the last couple of days up building up to the last week, I've been real hard on the guys in the gym, because I call out a combination, or I tell them do something, and they beat up on themselves. They get frustrated. I can see them getting mad, or when they get tired, I can see them starting to get tired and wanting to bend over. I'm like, dude, you got to have a poker face, man. Don't give them all them signs. Don't give the opponent that confidence that you're getting tired or that you're frustrated with yourself. You got to put on your poker face, and you got to, you got to keep going, man. You got to chop through. But so lately in the gym, a lot of the time when they get frustrated and stuff, I tell them, cut it, man. I don't want to know when you mess up. When you mess up, act like that's what you meant to do. Yeah. Keep on going. Don't let me know that you messed up. Yeah. When you make a mistake, when you're tired, don't bend over, man. Don't give me that confidence, that false sense of security to know that you're tired. Because when I see you tired, that's gonna boost my energy. You know, so
it's gonna make you go a little bit harder, and like you say, that's when you lost. And that's just the thing, man. Mental toughness, you know, it just goes with everything we experience in life. You know, from starting up the business, from not worrying about what's going to happen to, you know, coming on this show, me starting the show. It's just, it all ties together. And, you know, you're in the business of building that confidence, man, you know, and I know that means the world. I know these guys are, you know, thankful for that they have a place to come to. So, you know, definitely salute to that. Ms. Monique, what would you say that, you know, they should expect or that they're going to get, you know, from your point of view?
Well,
for the ladies, I guess.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to piggyback off what Lewis was saying.
Yes, ma'am.
Because, you know, I do help him in the gym a lot. Like I said, we're new and it's just us as a family, us and our children.
Definitely a family business. Absolutely.
Big Damien.
Yes. And we have 2 other coaches that are under Lewis that have been a tremendous help and our family as well. And, you know, being with Lewis when all this started, I have learned so much about boxing. I personally did not like him boxing, but I was there 110%. Everybody knew I was there.
Yeah.
And so I've learned a lot from him. So in the gym, I'm doing the same thing with the guys. I'm you know, making sure that they're not giving up and telling them the same thing that I know Lewis would tell them.
Yeah.
And then even for the ladies, like the ladies come in and they think that, oh, you know, this is going to be easy. No, you're going to work when you come here. I have a friend that comes to the gym often and she complains every step of the way, but she thinks that when Lewis is not training her, she can slack off.
She can slack off.
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Get it together.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, it is a fun family environment. We welcome everybody as family. And I think that's a lot of the feedback that we've gotten from the people that have came to the gym is they prefer this gym. I mean, there are bigger and better gyms. Yes.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Because we're new. I mean, we will be there, but right now we're new, but people have told us they prefer us because of the family atmosphere. Because of how, you know, we treat them. We treat everyone the same. You walk through the door, your family.
Yeah. It's love.
And we want all of us to succeed.
Yeah. And I can attest to that. I mean, literally day one, you know, that's what they're offering. And, you know, you feel like family. That's how I know I felt. That's how I felt ever since, you know, the times I've been. And it just means so much, you know, and you can have this huge, you know, fancy gym on this side of town. And, you know, you've been going there. And then when you come and get the experience of Mo Better Boxing, man, it'll just change your mind. So
a whole different vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole different vibe. And, you know, it encourages you to want to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I've told as many people as I could, and, you know, hopefully they'll all get the chance to experience that. You know, some people were watching this morning. They were excited about it. You know, they want to know about it. So that is definitely something that, you know, I encourage, you know, so this is another part of a fitness regimen because I'm big on my kids about being in shape. And of course they're athletes, but you have to get different regiments in as well. And they all teach you some of the same things.
And with the boxing and the boxing fitness, you get more than just like your regular workout.
Yeah.
So you're working more muscles.
The whole body.
Muscles that you didn't even know you had.
Yeah.
Like when you leave the gym, you'll be like, why is this sore? You know,
that was me. I was like, because that's the thing. I've been running every morning. I've been, you know, going to football practice, doing weights, doing my push-ups and all this. Man, I went to that gym when I tell you from top to bottom, and it wasn't hurting. It was just like, you know, you could feel like, dang, I worked that muscle, you know, because I understand what's going on. But, you know, for you guys who may be new to it, you may feel like you're dying. You're not dying. It's just because you've worked muscles that you hadn't normally worked, you know, and that's really what it's about. So you're working the muscles from your brain all the way down to your toes because Louis gonna have you doing that footwork, you know. So yeah, it is honestly a full body workout. I know you're gonna say something.
We actually get a lot of guys that are, and you don't have to be looking to be a competitive boxer to come in and work out either, because we have a lot of guys that are high school and college athletes, and they love it. You know, the football players, the basketball players, they come in because they say that, you know, they can't get that work with just a regular workout. So they come in and they work hard, and a lot of those guys, man, they come in, they look like Adonis, and big, strong guys, and they'll tell you, yeah, man, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tougher than what I thought.
I forgot this guy's name. There I can't. Big old dude. I was like, he started hitting that bag. He was like, I said, you tired, huh, bro? He's like, man. I was like, yeah, I know it. But no, it's just fun. It's interesting to witness that. But to stick to our subject as far as business. So we've talked a little bit about, what people should expect as far as a business. So what are some of the things you've experienced, maybe hardships like through COVID? What advice would you give a business owner through the COVID pandemic? This is something nobody could imagine happening. And some of the things like just the hardships, and it's always different, in certain businesses, and you're in the business of boxing, you're in the business of providing healthcare and, all the things you provide. So what advice would you give along that line? Maybe I just call it hardships or something.
Well, first and foremost, man, you have to err on the side of caution. So the safety of the public, of the customers, of the people that work there, of all of us, that comes first.
Yeah.
So hands down, that's our first priority, to make sure that we can provide a safe environment. If we can't, then we'll shut it down.
Let me throw in something real quick too. So day one, I met Lewis. We had talked a couple times. As soon as I walked in the gym, he had that thermometer. Let's see what you. Let me make sure you're good. And then the hand sanitizer followed. So I could attest to that too as well. I just thought that was funny.
And I will say, after Lewis leaves the gym, I'm there with my bleach, and me and my daughter. We are sanitizing everything.
But my bad. Go ahead, bro.
But pretty much that's it, man. You got to take all that into account. Nobody could predict it. What's going on, and the best thing we can do is make people feel comfortable.
Right.
Like a lot of times, as of lately, with the second wave, I guess you can call it, that's been hitting. I've been training with mask on. When I'm in close proximity to somebody else, I'll put my mask on, and I'll work them out with my mask on, just because I want them to feel comfortable.
Right.
That take that doubt or question away.
Yeah.
And it's a gym, and to me, that's kind of the one place you kind of want to be when everybody's getting sick.
Yeah.
Because nobody's sick we haven't had anybody sick in the gym.
Yeah.
And that's where you get to build your immune system up. You build your immunity up. You get healthy. And help fight off this stuff.
Right.
Man.
Right.
So.
Right. That's definitely important. Yes, ma'am. What would you add to that?
We also encourage the members and visitors as well to wear masks, but we understand, that some people may not be able to wear one at all times. But for the most part, we try and make sure everyone it's a pretty big gym. We don't have many members yet.
Speak it.
But we kind of space everybody out.
Yeah.
So it's not a real crowded gym where everybody's breathing on each other. So I think we're being pretty safe. We don't know what's to come with this COVID stuff, but we're just trying our best to make sure everything stays sanitized. People are being checked at the door. We're making sure they're constantly washing their hands or putting on hand sanitizer. I feel like we're being pretty safe. And I am a complete germaphobe. Yeah. So I am spick and span in that place.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even all the way down to the gloves, y'all are, these gloves are for certain people. You're not letting the gloves being interused too much. And the ones that are I've witnessed it being sanitized. I'm
cleaning inside and out with alcohol.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I totally get that. And so with the process that, has come about with opening up the gym and having the people come in. What are you experiencing, I guess I would say mentally, in regards to the different people that come and the different people that are getting the memberships? What are you experiencing, or what are you learning from those individuals that you may have new goals that you're trying to set forward, or just new vibes, I would call it? What are you learning from the people that are coming to you guys? What are you getting from the public?
Well, we get a variety of people that come in, different goals, different missions, just different aspirations, but pretty much everybody has a passion to better themselves. I know that's across the board. Everybody's coming in because they want this better or they want that better. They want to be more confident. I've got a guy who's training, and I asked him, what are you looking for? What are you looking to do? It's like, man, I just want to be confident that I can defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to learn a little bit something about the sport and know that I can defend myself.
Yeah.
You know, I've got I got people to come in. It's like, man, you know, I just got to cut this weight. You know, I'm looking for something to do to stay active, to cut the weight, learn at the same time, and something that's kind of fun. You know, and then we had the guys that actually have aspirations or dreams of boxing. So,
Okay.
and we're actually right now tentatively,
Mm-hmm.
if they don't close it down, we're gonna have some guys that'll be competing July 18th.
Okay.
So I'm waiting to see how many we get matched up and who we get matched up. But July 18th is tentative date that, you know,
Okay.
we're gonna be going. So
Yeah, and that was the next thing I was going to ask is, you know, outside of being for the public and stuff like that, what type of training are you doing? So speak a little bit more about that. I don't know if you want to call names or weight classes or whatever, but I was going to ask that, you know, what type of fighters are you? A fighting pro fighter, amateur fighter trainer? How would you consider yourself?
So as of right now, all of our guys that are actually going to compete are amateurs.
Okay.
We've had pros come in the gym to work out. There's a guy who wants to come in. His transportation situation is messed up, but he comes in from time to time. But all the guys that are going to be competing on July 18th are amateur fighters, my two sons included. But, I mean, we'll take anybody, any level, you know.
Gotcha.
So,
cool. Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to go back to what you had asked about the business side and what are we getting from people.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we are doing, and this is because we are new, we are learning, and we want to learn from our customers.
Mm-hmm.
So when we have customers come in, we're asking them after we work them out, we're asking them, what do you like about the gym? What didn't you like? What would you expect?
Yeah.
What did you expect? What do you want going forward? And that is also helping us, you know, with better customer service, get better. You know, if there is a need, if we see that there's a need for something specific that we've heard from a lot of customers, then we're going to incorporate that into our business.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that we're definitely big on, is getting feedback from the customer to better our business.
Okay. And I guess I've been having the email scroll. Is that the best place you would ask for that besides the verbal? You know, how would you ask for them to comment and give those suggestions?
I'm actually working on a survey.
Okay.
So that our members can complete that, but they can always go on to the email and email us suggestions, or, you know, what you like and what you don't like about it. You know, we want all the feedback. And we also have the Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook that they can, you know, you can inbox us however you want to do it. We'll take all feedback from everyone.
Absolutely. And were you going to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that they can always pull me aside too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean,
at the gym.
Face to face.
When we at the gym, you know, pull me aside, say, hey, man, can we do this, or can you not do that? Or, you know, I'd like to see this, or did you think about that? You know, we're going to consider, we take everything, you know, in consideration what everybody says.
That's huge. And the reason, guys, you know, for me, you know, I know it's the first time, and shout out to y'all, man. This is their first time doing a interview. So the reason why I do this is, you know, I try to ask some of the same questions to every guest, because I'll always get different answers, but switch it up a little bit. But, you know, it's that stigma about Black business. You know, I ain't going to their gym because, man, they, you know, customer service sucks, and, you know, this, that, and the other. And it's these things that we get caught up as just as a whole when it comes to us as Black people. Why not us having good business? Why not us having good customer service? And so to be able to accept the constructive criticism, or just straight out criticism, or just open suggestions to do something different, like you say, what to do, what not to do, you know, those are the things we have to be able to accept and take into consideration, you know, and not every suggestion you're going to do. Like you said, the key things you said, if it's a lot of people, you know, suggesting the same stuff, then definitely you want to incorporate that, you know, because that'll help. And that's just part of the reason why I asked that, you know, to help people understand that we are, you know, considerate, we're intentional, you know, and to be Black in business. That's the next thing I want to kind of phase over to. But before we do that, give y'all another commercial, tell everybody where they can find y'all. And as I do that, Derek Ray, he said, He says, shout out to all of y'all, Lewis Brown, Coach Charles Smith, LeVar, keep it up, man. We appreciate you, bro. And you know, I know how you are, man. You keep doing what you're doing as well.
Yes.
And Miss Tina Links, I think that's someone from y'all.
Sister.
Okay. Yeah, she said you guys are the best. And Shan Rich, they can't wait until July 18th. And then your daughter again, she said, I'm gonna need you there. Oh Lordy, I'm gonna need you there. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, it's just awesome, man. And then they said very down to earth. This is Tina again, said very down to earth family and great customer service, you know. So definitely, I can attest to that. But yeah, go ahead, tell everybody where they can find y'all. I got the email scrolling, but I'm gonna also put up the social media stuff. So let them know. He said your turn.
Like I said, we can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Mo Better Boxing.
Absolutely. And you can see it down at the bottom of the screen, you know. So we're definitely highlighting Mo Better Boxing, man. I definitely appreciate you guys. But shifting the questions back to the business side of it, what does it mean for you guys to actually be in business, and what are you standing for? What would you want to, again, tell people who are just starting out, but to be Black especially, you know, and be in business? What does that mean to you? Well, especially with the times that's been going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is pretty big for me because growing up, you know, we lived very humble. We had very humble beginnings growing up, you know, at one point in time. And a lot of my values and morals I get from my mother, because my mom was the person who took everybody in. She's never said no to anybody. You know, At one point in time, you know, we lived in a 2-bedroom house with like 8 people living in. I didn't even have a bedroom. After that stuff happened with my dad, I didn't have a bedroom until I moved out. You know, me, my 2 cousins, my cousin and my brother, we took turns sleeping on the couch.
Right.
The couch or the floor. So I never would have fathomed back then that it's possible. I thought only rich people, only having the special people that can, you know, own a business or that can, you know, get a house and, you know, stuff like that. But man, if you just anybody can have it. I mean, you can have it. If you work hard enough, if you grind hard enough, you'll get it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all about being focused and working to achieve what you set out to do.
Yeah.
So it's something that it's achievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
It means a lot to us because we want all of our people, especially our children, especially our family, but all of our people to know that we can get out and get it just like anyone else can.
Right.
It is harder for us. I mean, that's a given, but we are strong people.
Yeah.
All of us. We are a strong people as a whole.
Very resilient.
We need to have our own.
Yeah.
We cannot depend on a corporation, on a paycheck from someone else. We have got to get our own. And we've got to support our own as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we've got to do it.
I second that. And one thing people will learn about us as they get closer to us and hang around us more, my family and all the people I hang around, especially Derek. That's why he fits right in.
Okay.
But everyone is very, very competitive.
Okay.
So to tell us that we can't do something,
you just started something.
You just challenged. Yeah, you just challenged us. Yeah. So you know, I mean, we see all the negative stuff on the TV and in the media, you know, how Black people are always portrayed on TV and on the media, and that in itself makes me want to prove it wrong, to change the image of the Black man. You know, we've been beat up for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's time for things to change.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's another reason why we need to keep our dollar in our community.
Absolutely. And that's another conversation we'll get into, but to go back to what you said as far as being challenged or telling us what we can't do, and going back to Derek, you know, and always focus on the youth. You know, we come from that Cobra family, that Stafford Cobra. We were just, you know, we wasn't going to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just couldn't lose, wasn't going to lose. And, you know, the times we did were very few, far and in between. But it taught us something, you know. But the whole organization from flag all the way up to the senior, we were just winners, you know. And that's something that you're teaching those youngsters early. so that they expect that, you know what I'm saying? They expect to be winners, and they expect to learn from it, you know, and then losing the first fight, you know, you learn something from that, you know, and that's the part that's important. And it's the same thing with business. You know, we have to expect, you know, like you said, coming from humble beginnings, you get it in your mind that, you know, our Black people, they're used to being in the ghetto or used to being impoverished, and they think they can't get it, when in actuality, to me, starting a business is very, very, very easy. It's simple. You know, you go get a DBA, you're in business, you know what I'm saying? But then it's, what do you do after that? You know, and then that grind, like you said, if you work hard, to be sustainable, you know, and to last and to have that continuous impact. That's why it meant so much. And somebody was telling me, oh, my sister Mika down, like, you need to be celebrating. I'm like, no, my celebration is just being humble and being grateful that, you know, I lasted, you know what I'm saying? And I'm really just getting started in all the things that I'm getting involved with, making new connections. And, you know, it's just awesome to be able to have that type of impact, man. And I'm saying all that to say, not about me. Y'all are already, just from the little I know, you know, are already making that huge impact. But in regards to, again, the business side, you know, being Black and in business, and of course, I know it means the world to you guys, but going back to that side about COVID, what advice as far as preparedness, and now that we've been through COVID, what type of readiness, like as far as savings or, you know, loans or the grants or stuff, what type of advice would you give people in regards to that? And did you guys have any direct holdups or setbacks in regards to COVID?
You know, unfortunately, we have not. I mean, we just opened up in March and had to shut down pretty much a couple weeks after.
Okay.
So it has been a strain on our budget for sure. But glory be to God, we're holding up.
Okay.
We have applied for different grants and loans, but they just haven't come through. We will continue to, but I mean, there's nothing that we can really say because it's so unknown. We're just trying to stay afloat, honestly.
Gotcha. And that's the advice that I've gotten from several people. And of course, by being new, that puts another spin on it. You know, it's not, you know, same thing with me. You know, I was applying, and, you know, I had just got my status with the organization. And so, you know, there was different things I could do or couldn't do, or paperwork I didn't have just because I was waiting on it. And they shut down the RS, you know, all that stuff. So, you know, I totally get it and totally understand. Were you going to add something on that, Louis?
No, I was just saying that, you know, we make it a habit of not doing any reckless spending, or, you know, when we get paid, we put the money away.
Yeah.
You know, for.
And a lot of stuff that we would normally want, a lot of the stuff that we would normally want to, you know, outsource or hire someone to do, we're grinding and doing it ourselves.
Yeah.
I would much rather have a cleaning person come in, but I'm there every day.
Yeah. And see, those are those things
cleaning
I'm talking
like
about.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's what I got to do.
Yeah.
You know, we got to do what we got to do at this point in time.
Absolutely. And as a business owner, that's what I want the people to hear from. You know, I kind of know what I want to hear, but I just want to see what you have to say. And those are the things that I'm talking about, especially being new. It's those small things that people don't really understand. Yeah, it's much easier. You can hire somebody to go do it, but why not do it yourself, you know? And you'll get to the point where you can, you know, do all that because you're busy with all the business and stuff. But so that's definitely a key factor. So let's talk family and love, you know, family and love. And we've kind of touched on it a little bit, but what are some of the roles that family, whether it be the immediate family or extended family, what type of assistance or support, and what does it mean to be in love and in business together as well? What are you getting as far as that it goes?
So my family is almost like little gang.
Okay.
Because we stick together.
Yeah.
I mean, my family is family over everything, literally, you know. And we welcome everybody into our family. Our family has grown since we lived here. You know, just like you became a part of my family. Derek is part of the family, extended family. We have cousins.
Derek and his family.
We have cousins that have moved here from Indianapolis and from other places, you know. So family is big. Our house back in Indianapolis, our house was one of the houses that people
to get together,
just go to. That's where I want to be. Hang out, put your feet up.
So it was real tough when we first moved, and my kids were used to always having people around, family around, aunties, uncles, you know, being able to say, all right, let me go over cousin's house, or let me go here, let me go there. So it was a adjustment period, but I mean, we're just big on family. Family's everything.
Family means everything to us. And although we don't have a whole lot of family here, I mean, our family comes to visit often. We take family trips. I mean, and we go visit our family often. We haven't been able to with all this COVID stuff.
Yeah.
But we are very family oriented, and that's part of the reason why our business is the way it is. We are making sure that we keep family at the forefront of our business, of our home, everything. And that is what we teach to our children. That is what we teach to the young men and women that we mentor. I mean, family is everything.
Yeah, it really is, you know, and I feel in my heart and my spirit and my soul is that if we took family more important, then as a whole, as a race and as a Black community, we'd be doing so much better, you know, and we wouldn't have to be saying, keep that dollar in our circle, you know, because we would understand that. But shout out to my man, Coach Charles Smith. You know, I'm not sure if he's still watching right now, but I'll speak directly to you, Coach. We talked earlier. I don't know if you heard it, but we talked about that getting tired. And, you know, this is my man that I was talking about. When you show them that you're tired and he give them everything you got and they just taking it and then they got you. They done. Yeah. But that's my man that talks about that. So we spoke on that today. But in regards to that, back to family is that, you know, we have to also teach our kids and help them understand that I'm sure you guys are, I don't know if it's intentional, but even in the back of your mind, I'm sure you want Mo Better Boxing to live on. You know what I'm saying? And last. And so if you could speak to your kids, if you haven't already done that, or just speak to, it could be, you know, family, like you say, me, it could be one of the guys that's in the gym. What would you say to that as far as the legacy that you're trying to leave? And what would you expect? Like, you know, speak as if you wasn't here, you know, and that person that's coming behind you.
So can I
go ahead,
track a little bit?
Absolutely.
All right, on the family aspect again. Like I said, man, back in Indianapolis, people used to say that people actually said my family had a curse on us because we had experienced so many tragedies to where we were going to funerals every year. And I'm talking about tragic deaths, unexpected deaths. So that's one thing that I think that has impacted me also to make me appreciative of my family, because you got to love them while they're here, you know, because it could be too late. And, you know, let go of all the small nitpicky stuff, man, because, you know, if something was to happen to one of your family members and you holding on to something
irrelevant.
Irrelevant. And, you know, something was to happen to them or to you, it'd be hard to live down.
Yeah.
So, we're, you know, family, like I said, family is everything. And my mom was big on family. Her mom was big on family. My whole family. That's why I think me and her meshed so good in the beginning, because when I went to Arizona, that was my first assignment in the Air Force. And, you know, my family setting was huge in Indianapolis. I went to Arizona. I didn't have my family. I mean, when I went to Air Force, they asked me where you have a wish list. So everywhere I picked was in the Midwest, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois. Man, they sent me to Arizona.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
The desert.
Yeah. I get out there, and, you know, I had a couple of my cousins that rode with me. My cousins, you know, all my cousins are ride or die. So they rode down there with me. They stayed with me for a couple of weeks. And eventually when I met her family reminded me of my family. You know, the way they hang together and the way they go for each other.
Won't he do it, man?
Yeah. So
sent you to Arizona for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So, but as far as the legacy is concerned, man, I just want to be able to give my kids something that they can own or they can have, and something they can take pride in.
Absolutely.
And eventually pass on to their kids.
Yeah.
And eventually, man, we got to start building that generational wealth amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and not to get off the subject, but one thing I feel like is a problem in our community, and this is just my personal opinion, I feel like so many of us Black parents and even the young adults are in such a rush to get out there, to get out to the world. And you look at the other cultures, man, the other cultures aren't doing that.
We're talking about this. Yeah.
Some of the other cultures, kids stay with their parents until they're 20,
30 years old. Yeah.
But by the time they get out, man, they're set. They have savings. They have cars paid off. They have furniture. They have stable jobs, and we are so quick to 18, you got to go. 18, you got to go.
Yeah.
And we send them out there to fail sometimes, because a lot of times they're not prepared. But I think we need to, in our community, man, start embracing that more to where we.
Why not make it easier?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
We have it hard enough as it is as a Black people.
Yeah, most definitely. Were you going to add anything else to that?
I mean, I concur with Lewis totally.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my oldest son. He just recently bought his first house. He stayed with us, and we wanted him to stay with us, save your money up. And he did exactly what Lewis was just saying.
Yeah.
Paid off his debt, got his house. And I mean, we're extremely proud.
Yeah.
But just being that support for your children, whether they go off to college or whether they do anything else,
right.
But being that support and making sure they know that they can always come home.
Absolutely.
And we're always going to support them in every good thing that they aspire to do.
Right.
And just having that, letting them know that means the world, because they know that they're not out there trying to do this on their own.
Trying to make it. Yeah. And I think, as parents, we missed that boat first. It's on us, and I'm talking as a whole, because I just had this conversation, man, and that's exactly, again, in my opinion, but I call it fact. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what the issue is as a whole. When you look at it holistically, it's either the kids are trying to grow up too fast, but why are they trying to grow up too fast? What are we doing as the parents that they don't want to stay at home? Like, how does that even make sense? You know what I'm saying? You so young trying to get out, and then if they're trying to stay and they can't stay, we're not providing enough, or we're not doing the right thing. So I think that is of the utmost importance that we try to turn that around however we best can in each individual household. Just be more mindful of what we're providing, what we're not providing, the things that we're doing, with the things that we're not doing, because that's exactly right. The other cultures, man, they kids can stay at home till they 25, 30, they probably get their car, they have everything set. So when they go, they're just set, they're good to go. It's just, they don't miss a beat. They don't skip a beat, and I get it, for that listener who's like, man, well, we ain't got it like that. I mean, there are circumstances, there are certain situations we totally understand, and not speaking down on that, but it's just, holistically, you know what I'm saying? When you think about it, because in that situation, that's the reason why it's like that. It all goes back, and, you have to, people don't want to hear that hard truth, but that's really the hard truth, of what it is. So it's not to offend anybody. It's just to basically state our opinions is what it really boils down to. And I totally agree with that. If we can house our kids a lot longer and continue to prepare them. And of course, I'm a strong believer. If you can't listen to my rules, like if your son wasn't doing exactly what Lewis said, then you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not finna force you to do anything, so to speak. And then even that stops after a certain point, but granted, the kids are listening, doing the things that they need to do. We're not trying to raise any, psychopaths or nothing like that, So that's important.
And the thing is, you don't have to have it like that.
Right.
You don't have to have money. You be that support for your child. Let the child know that I'm always here for you to lean on, whether I have the money or not.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're going to do
and they take more to that than we realize.
We're all together and we're all right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, provide everything, take care of my
absolutely not.
Like that, babe. My oldest son, he chips in, he pays the bill.
Yeah.
He helps out. He does stuff that I need him to do around the house. I mean, it's a collective.
While saving for his house.
Exactly. It's the small things that we do.
I mean, he's paying, per se, he's paying the electric bill opposed to paying rent, electric, water, gas, car, insurance.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely big. I want to take a pause and shout out to my man, Kevin Ridio, man. He's one of the original crew that helped me with the King Conversation of Dad Chronicles. He says, press on, stay focused, and preserve is not a sprint. Pace yourselves. you don't have to share DNA to be family. LeVar can attest to that. And that's absolutely correct, man. We got a crew of fellas. We call each other brothers, and, you know, we mean that. It's the same thing with you. Your boys ride or die, and our crew is too. And, you know, we just have to stand strong. So, Kevin, I appreciate you being part of the show and tuning in. And I hope you're still on board for this evening, because he'll be part of that 1 year anniversary, you know. So I salute to you, man, for supporting. And, you know, he's actually somebody I look up to, you know, like a big brother. You know, he gives me just what I need to hear. You know what I'm saying? You always have that one person that's just gonna give it to you straight lace, you know, and it is what it is. And that's radio, man. So I appreciate you, brother. But going back to the family, you know, we talk about them being around and helping out and stuff like that, and how important that is. The thing is that we can't take those things for granted either. That's the other thing, you know, is I think that sometimes we take it too much for granted, and we don't really understand the importance of it, and how that simple act of supporting the kids supporting us, and attaching to the legacy is what's so important, you know, as far as I'm concerned. And that's my thing with the Dad Chronicles, passing on, being a help to somebody else, you know. So because you are business, right? You're not set up as a nonprofit. The thing I wanted to talk about is you do it anyway, but outside of what you do on a regular every day, how are you guys giving back to the community? And I know that outreach thing that we were talking about be one thing, but is there anything else that you guys are doing that we're not aware of? How do you give back? Because, you know, giving back is what blesses you in return.
Absolutely.
So, or what would you like to do? You know, how are you guys giving back to the community?
Well, pretty much one way we give back, like, I guess I've helped out. My sons have always been, my son and my daughters have always been involved in extracurricular sports and things like that. One thing I like to do is help the coach out, even call myself a coach with some of the things. And we've always got an open door, so we always picking up kids. We've always got kids standing at our house. You know, we always have friends standing at our house, and we're that house that people feel like they can come to sometimes.
Gotcha.
You know.
Yeah. So you mentoring all the time, 24/7, basically, because that's what that is. Yeah.
Another thing that Lewis didn't mention is that we host we've hosted 2 of them, where we get a lot of young men and young women and their parents. And the first time we hosted at our home, but Lewis went to the police station and spoke with some of the officers there, had them come to our home. I was gracious enough to get donations for food and stuff.
You told me about that. How we forgot that? You told me about that. Yeah,
that
was awesome.
I mean, it was really good, and it may even be better at this present time.
Absolutely.
But we had the officers come in, and it was just an open conversation. What should a young Black man expect when they're pulled over by an officer? What should you do? What shouldn't you do?
Yeah.
You know, and it was an open dialogue. The kids, the parents, they were asking questions. The officers were asking questions of the audience. And it was just a real good conversation.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us learned things that we didn't know before.
Absolutely.
We did it again, and we actually did it at a precinct.
Okay.
And so, you know, we want to keep that going too.
Yeah, that was huge, man.
So with the climate at that time, it was Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown stuff that had happened.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
First happened. So, you know, I was frustrated. I was upset like everybody else, and I figured, man, I got to do something. I wanted to do something, but I was like, what can we do?
Yeah.
So, that's one thing that we thought of. You know, I went out and I reached out to the Richmond Sheriff's Department, and I appreciate them. Give them kudos for coming out.
Right.
I talked to them, and they actually sent 3 officers to my house, and they said that they would be there. They's like, "Hey, we'll give you 30, 45 minutes," and they ended up staying for about over 2 hours.
Wow.
And you know, they asked me what I want, what we wanted. We just told them, say, "Hey, man, we want you to explain to these guys, you know, if they get stopped, if they see a police, what's proper protocol to deal with a traffic stop, or what should you do if questioned by the police? What are your rights? What rights do you have? What can you not do? And so that turned out to be a real good discussion. We talked about the current climate. They got to ask the police questions, the officers questions. A lot of those guys had not ever even spoken to a
been questioned,
So they were kind of scared at first of the officers. And what felt good was that when we were all done, that I was talking to one of the officers at the door, and he's like, "Man, how you think it went?" I said, "I think it went pretty good."
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, "I just wanted these guys to feel comfortable with, knowing that they can talk to you, they can ask you questions, stuff like that." And he's like, "Yeah, man." He said, they aren't, like, there's some pretty good kids. And I was like, exactly. He said, that was the other side. I want you to see
the community. Yeah.
These guys, man, these aren't bad kids, man. And they look intimidating. Some of them kids were 15 and like 6'7", 6'9", 6'8", tall, big kids.
Wow.
But if the police officer seen them, all they see is a big 6'7" dude. You know what I mean? They don't know there's a kid that is, a good, humble kid like that.
Yeah.
So.
And that was huge, man. Because when I met you in the current climate, I was trying to do the same thing. And what happened, because I was setting up everything's virtual world right now, so I was setting up this virtual talk and a speech. And the week of me getting the final okay, because I was trying to, I was just deliberately reaching out to people, and I knew the officers had to follow certain protocol and stuff like that. So I was able to get about 4 of them on the line, and actually commit, because it was going to be that same conversation. But at this time, Ahmaud Arbery had gotten killed, right? And then right after that, in the city of Houston, we had 3 shootings, cop-involved shootings and deaths. The week I was going to do my talk, they got emails, don't talk no social media. I mean, no media personality, this, that, and the other. And, so when you told me that, it reminded me of what I was trying to do. And then I called my people. I'm like, y'all still, we can't do it. I'm like, man. So the power of what comes from that is what was needed. You know what I'm saying? And that's back to Mike Brown, and that really ain't the beginning, but I just call it the beginning of, the era we're in right now. And so when we think about that, man, that was just excellent for you to be intentional about that. And so that was what I was trying to get started. And then right after that, I got connected with these other guys. They were on the show not too long ago. Shout out to Trey Nine, Bobby Heron, Trey Nine, and Johnny Gentry. They did this thing they call pray test, not protest, but pray test, and so they got that together. And, then George Floyd got killed. And so then all of a sudden, now the police trying to step out and they trying to talk, and we talk about the higher ups because it's all political, it just gets crazy. And so I was like, you know what, I don't even need to do that anymore, so I just speak out through here and, got connected with them. We did an interview with them and, so it was kind of the same stuff, but with the organization I was telling you about, shout out to World Youth Foundation. I always do that. We have this thing called Yip Saturdays. And so we did that with our kids. And so we had a young group of kids, we had our older group of kids, and the older group of kids, we had them sit down with 2 African-American police officers, in this Zoom call. So we had about, I don't want to lie, about 10 kids, I guess, was on the call, and it was the same thing, and it was just, because of the time we're in and, getting shut down on the forefront, we were able to make a larger impact, on the back end and getting some excellent information, same thing, what to expect, what to do. And, the kids being able to ask those questions and really saying some things that left them officers like, wow, I didn't know those kids felt like that, and it's just an amazing thing, when we can do stuff like that. And that's something else, man, that I want to keep going. You know what I'm saying? We have to do that.
We were just talking about
the second time we did it, because we did it twice. The second time I hooked up to with the West Precinct Houston Police Department and give them a shout out because they were real open and accepting us coming in.
Yeah.
They actually invited us to come to their location. And I told them, I said, hey, if you don't mind, we like a diverse group.
Absolutely.
Don't give me all black police officers. Don't give me all men. Give me a diverse group. And we got we had maybe 12.
It was quite a few
officers. We had 12 police officers. We had women. We had men. We had black, white, Hispanic. We had a little bit of everything and everybody. And you know, we had a conversation that lasted a little more than 2 hours.
Okay.
You know, we talking back. It was back and forth questions, and you know, again, they went over what our rights were, what they expect to see. You know, this is what I would do if I got pulled over. You know, this is how I would handle it.
Yeah.
And then they actually took us on they took the kids on a tour of the precinct. They showed them the holding cell and the courts, and showed them where the judge does all these things.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was also a lot of adults
it was a lot of
that
parents.
came to this second time, and they got a lot out of it as well.
Cool, man. And, you know, I'm sorry not to cut you off, but
okay.
Next time y'all think about doing that, include me. Just if I'm a spectator, or if you want to intentionally put something together, let's do that. You know, whatever, because I have kids that I can bring to the table. You know what I'm saying?
We were just speaking about this 2 days ago with our coach Monica and Damian Waters. Waterson, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Waterson, we got you.
But we at the gym, that area is a perfect area to host something like that. We were talking about how the officers don't know the kids in the neighborhood, and if they just took time to go out in the community and you know, kind of get to know some of the kids that they see around all the time, and not always on a bad note, then that would help tremendously.
Absolutely.
So we were thinking, I mean, I know it's hard to do anything right now with the COVID going on, but we want to host something at Mo Better Boxing, Triple D Academy, and have the officers from that neighborhood come.
Absolutely.
Have the adults and kids from that neighborhood come and just have that open dialogue once again, and be able to feel free to ask or say anything.
Yeah. And again, being in A-Leaf, I definitely love to do that. I know a few people that would collaborate with that event, and, you know, brings attention to Mo Better Boxing, that's what this show is all about. Shout out to Mo Better Boxing Gym, you know, but you know, that's just so important. And, you know, the time's rolling down. So what I want to do real quick is, you know, say thank you to you guys again, you know, for all you're doing. But make a couple announcements, man, and hope you'll concur with me. You know, we're gonna, again, with this COVID thing, the next thing I'm thinking is, man, how can we be intentional to still move forward? You know, because we keep losing contact, and you know, I think about the viral thing, and that's what I've been doing, reaching out to the kids, and you know, holding through World Youth Foundation. But we have to maybe start our own thing, but at the same time, maybe we organize to where we invite, you know, just 10 kids at a time, you know, maybe do it 2-3 times a week, so there can be a rotation, and we're still practicing social distancing, stuff like that. But saying all that to say, we're introducing Mo Better Boxing Chess Club. You know, you told me you wanted to bring the chess club over there, so we're gonna definitely do that. So all the kids that have been, you know, hopefully missing the Dad Chronicles Chess Club, is still Dad Chronicles Chess Club, but I'm big about partnering, and you know, I'll be a facilitator or a host or whatever you want to call it, you know, and it'll be Mo Better Boxing. It's all about letting everybody expand and evolve and just working together, you know. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about starting what I'll call your retreat, or what was the name of that you used to do?
We call it OBOL, One Blood, One Love.
I love that. OBOL, One Blood, One Love. Which, you know, I want to revamp that or recreate it and make it even better. You know, again, of course, when COVID calms down, but you know, we can figure out something. You know, BET Awards did a virtual show, so I know we can, and it was, and so we can figure that part out. So it's just some amazing things going on. So before we close, what are your closing thoughts? You know, like I told you, it was going to be simple. You know, we almost out of time. You know, I hate that, but you know, I just love everything that I felt from day one. Appreciate everything that y'all are doing, and you know, we couldn't talk enough about it. If anybody's still listening, has a question, throw that out real quick so they can maybe answer that, or we can talk about it. But you know, what are any closing thoughts or announcements? And the last thing I want is what can we as a community help Mo Better Boxing with? Meaning, what goals do you have besides the things I just announced, the chess club and, you know, that retreat? Are there any things that are in your parameter right now that you're trying to reach? What goals, or what can we look forward to from Mo Better Boxing, if there's anything right now?
We just want to be an outlet. We want to be an option for kids, to young adults, to find something to do. Young adults, preteen kids, to come and have another option, you know, than to being out in the street. So
Gotcha. And Miss Monique?
Well, eventually, because like when Lewis was boxing, they didn't necessarily have to pay a fee to go to the gym. And this is Lewis's passion. He wants to help young men stay off the street. So eventually, we don't want to have to charge a bunch of money for members to come in and especially the young people who don't have the means to pay a membership fee. We want to be able to just let them come in. So that is our end goal, is to be able to help as a community.
And I'll just say it plain, donations, sponsorship, right. All that plays a part into being able to do that. Anybody watching or listening, you can, however they can donate, and you can use the email that's flashing across the screen. You can, if you're a person who's able to make that type of donation, it might not be able to help for the rest of the time they're open, but it'll help for a period of time they're open, and also sponsor X amount of kids. You know what I'm saying? So I know how that goes. So it's 12204 Beechnut Street, Houston, Texas, 77072. My man Kevin is obviously looking to get over there, so I'm putting that in the comments right now, and the address is going to be up. But so we got that showing right now. Oh yeah, you can give them the phone number.
It's 832-919-3960.
Absolutely, man. And so I hate we have to go, but that time I tell you it was gonna fly, man. I appreciate again everything you guys are doing, man. However I can help, whatever I can be a part of, you already know. I'm there for you, and we're gonna do some amazing things, and we're gonna continue to do that, and make sure that we're helping the kids out in the community. And for those kids that are watching, or the parents that are watching, like Lewis said, is why not you? Why not get involved? Why not improve your health? Why not work out and provide yourself with a great workout, and take the nuggets that you've gotten from these business owners that are new into business. You know what I'm saying? And really, the way I see it, I don't want to call it struggling, but you're in business, but you really just giving back to the community. You know what I'm saying? And so it's important. We have to keep that in mind, and, bless places and people like this as well. So, it's hats off and salute to all of that. Again, look forward to the chess club. Look forward to the conversations with the police we're going to do. Look forward to the retreats that we're going to put together. And then for me, lastly, is that, the partnerships, don't ever forget about that. Don't ever take that for granted, because when you partner, because the thing for me is the Black community, we don't want to help each other, and if we get back to partnering and helping and collaborating and not worried about the name that's on the big screen, your reach goes much further, and you'll bless many more people, and that'll be a totally amazing thing, to be able to help as many people as we can.
If I could say, shout out to Triple D Academy, because we wouldn't be there right now if it wasn't for the partnership with Triple D Academy and Monica Roberts.
Shout out to you, Triple D Academy. Definitely understand that and appreciate you as well, and just go find them, 12204 Beechnut, Houston, Texas, 77072. Or was it 72? Okay. And, just become a member, do drop-ins, you can go back and watch this and get all the other information, man. But you guys, salute to you guys again. Shout out to everybody that has followed Dad Chronicles and the movement. Y'all stay tuned for tonight for the King Conversation as we celebrate and revisit a year of existence and making an impact in the community. So appreciate everybody. This has been the Reach Podcast Show. Let's double check the comments. Let's see if anybody's saying something. Downtown Brown. Okay. Coach Lewis, Downtown Brown. So shout out to it was at DJ Ray. So we appreciate you, brother, and we appreciate everybody who tuned in today. Again, this is the Reach Podcast Show, where every show reaches beyond the ears of the listeners, man. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.